I stared at the screen until my eyes burned. I refreshed it. The number stayed. My thumb hovered, then tapped again, harder this time, like pressure could force reality to correct itself. The app blinked, reloaded, and there it was again, bold, calm, indifferent. A balance that didn't belong to me. A balance that felt like it was breathing. I locked the phone and set it face down on the kitchen counter. The silence in the apartment thickened immediately, like the walls had leaned in to listen. My heart was pounding hard enough that I could feel it in my throat. I stood there, palms flat on the counter, telling myself not to panic. This had to be a glitch. I picked the phone back up, unlocked it, checked the account again. Still there. I laughed once, sharp and hollow. The sound startled me more than the number had. My mind raced through explanations. Bank error, duplicate display, some delayed transaction that hadn't reversed yet. I scrolled, looking for details that would ground me. The screen offered none that made sense. No helpful explanation. Just a balance. Waiting. I imagined alarms going off somewhere, silent and invisible, triggered the moment I saw it. I imagined men in dark suits already knowing my name. I locked the phone again. The kettle on the stove clicked off behind me, steam hissing like it was mocking me. I'd forgotten it was even on. My hands were shaking as I poured the water, spilling some onto the counter. I didn't wipe it up. I just stood there, mug in hand, staring at nothing. Don't touch it, I told myself. Don't move it. Don't think about what it could do for you. I didn't need to think hard. The images came anyway. My sister's medical bills disappearing, my own suffocating debt evaporating, the constant low-grade fear of one bad month ending my life as I knew it. The number on that screen was heavy. It pressed against every weak spot I had. The phone buzzed. I nearly dropped it. A call. Unknown number. I let it ring. Watched the screen light up and go dark again. My pulse didn't slow when it stopped. If anything, it sped up. I checked the locks on the door, then the peephole, even though I hadn't heard anything. The hallway was empty. Normal. Too normal. I sat on the edge of the couch and stared at my hands. They didn't feel like mine. They felt borrowed. The phone buzzed again. This time, a message. Please confirm receipt. No name. No context. Receipt of what? I didn't reply. I didn't sleep that night. I lay on top of the covers, fully dressed, phone on my chest like a weight. Every sound, the refrigerator kicking on, a car passing outside, made my muscles tense. I checked the account again at 3 in the morning, then again at 4, half expecting it to be gone. It wasn't. By morning, fear had settled into something heavier, a kind of dread that didn't spike anymore. It just stayed. I went to work anyway. I answered emails, nodded through meetings, smiled at the right moments. My body moved through the motions while my mind replayed the same loop. How long until someone came knocking? Around noon, my sister called. I almost didn't answer. When I did, her voice was bright in that way she used when she was pretending things were fine. You busy? She asked. Not really, I said, though my calendar said otherwise. She talked about nothing for a minute. Traffic, her neighbor's dog, then hesitated. I knew that hesitation. It was the sound of a bill arriving. I might need help with something, she said carefully. My throat tightened. I looked at my computer screen, at the spreadsheet I'd been pretending to work on. Numbers everywhere. Smaller ones. Honest ones. Okay, I said. She didn't ask right away. She never did. She talked around it, like circling a bruise. I listened. My phone pressed hard to my ear, thinking about the number burning a hole in my pocket. When we hung up, I didn't feel relief. I felt sick. By the end of the day, I had 3 missed calls from different unknown numbers and 2 more messages, each more polite than the last. We need to speak. This is time sensitive. I drove home slowly, checking my mirrors more than I needed to. Every car behind me felt deliberate. When I parked, I waited in the driver's seat for a full minute, hands on the wheel, convincing myself that paranoia wasn't proof. Inside the apartment, nothing was disturbed. Still, I checked every room. That night, I called Mark. He answered on the second ring. You okay? He asked immediately. I need to show you something, I said. There was a pause. That bad? Yes. Mark had known me long enough to hear the difference between drama and real fear. He was at my place within 20 minutes, jacket half-zipped, eyes already scanning the hallway as he came in. I handed him my phone without a word. He frowned at the screen, then looked up at me, looked back down, swore under his breath. "Is this a joke?" he asked. "I wish." "Did you do something?" He didn't mean it accusingly. He meant it desperately. "No." He sat down slowly, like the floor might give way. This doesn't just happen." "I know." "Have you touched it?" "No." He exhaled. "Good. Don't." "I wasn't planning to." He stared at the screen again, then locked the phone and slid it back across the table like it was dangerous to hold. "You need to call the bank." I thought about that. And what do I say? "Hi, I think someone accidentally gave me more money than I've ever seen in my life." "Yes," he said. "Exactly that. What if they think I did something?" "They'll think that anyway if you don't." I rubbed my face. "Someone already knows. I've been getting calls." Mark's expression changed. The humor drained out of it. "What kind of calls?" "Unknown numbers, messages, no details." He leaned back, arms crossed. "That's not a bank." "No." We sat in silence, the kind that grows when both people are thinking the same thing but don't want to say it. "This money is dirty," Mark said finally. "I know. And whoever it belongs to thinks you have it." "I know." He looked at me, really looked. "You didn't ask for this." "No, but now you're in it." That was the worst part. There was no undo button for knowing. The next morning, I went to the bank. The branch were bright and sterile, all glass and soft music. I waited in line like everyone else, my palms sweating. When it was my turn, I asked to speak to someone privately. The teller's smile tightened, but she nodded and led me to a small office. The manager introduced herself with a practiced calm. I showed her the account. She didn't react the way I expected. No shock, no confusion, just a careful stillness. "I see," she said. "That's it." I asked. She looked at me over the rim of her glasses. "I'm going to need to escalate this." "Am I in trouble?" "Not necessarily," she said, which was not comforting. She made a call, spoke in low tones, asked me to wait. I waited. After what felt like too long, a man I hadn't seen before came in. Suit, no name tag. He shook my hand and didn't tell me his name. "Thank you for bringing this to our attention," he said. "I didn't do anything," I said quickly. "I understand." He didn't say he believed me. "We're going to place a temporary hold on the account," he continued, "for your protection." "My protection from what?" He smiled politely. "From complications." When I left the bank, the air outside felt different, thinner. I checked my phone. No new messages. That didn't make me feel better. The first person to knock on my door came that evening. He was polite, middle-aged, wore a jacket that looked expensive without trying to. He smiled like we were neighbors. "May I come in?" he asked. "No," I said. He nodded, unoffended. "Fair enough." He didn't give his name. He didn't need to. "You've come into possession of something that doesn't belong to you," he said calmly. I reported it. "That was a mistake. I didn't touch it." "That's good," he said. "That means this can still be simple." My heart was hammering, but I kept my voice steady. "I don't have it." "You saw it," he corrected. "That's enough." "What do you want?" "For you to cooperate." "With what?" "With not making this harder than it needs to be." I thought of my sister, of Mark, of how small my life had been before this. "I want this gone," I said, "out of my life." The man smiled again, but there was something tired underneath it. "So do I." He left without another word. That night, Mark insisted on staying over. We barely talked. Every creak of the building sounded like footsteps. The next day, a detective called. Her voice was steady, almost kind. She said she wanted to help me, asked me to come in. At the station, she listened without interrupting, took notes, asked careful questions. "You did the right thing," she said when I finished. "I don't feel like it. She smiled faintly. You wouldn't. Am I safe? She hesitated. Just a fraction. Enough. We're looking into where the money came from, she said. It's complicated. Everything is, I said. Days passed. The calls stopped. That was worse. Mark started asking questions. About what I planned to do if it went away. About what I could have done with it. You ever think, he said one night, that this could have fixed everything? Yes, I said. That's what scares me. I didn't notice the shift at first. The way he started checking his phone more. The way he asked who I talked to. The detective called again. Said there were developments. That the money was tied to something violent. That people had died. I threw up after that call. Returning the money, she said, wouldn't erase what had happened. Wouldn't protect me from everyone who wanted it buried. Why tell me this? I asked. Because you're already involved, she said. And because someone close to you isn't being honest. My stomach dropped. Who? I can't say, she replied. But be careful. That night, I confronted Mark. He didn't deny it. Not really. I was trying to help, he said. They said if I convinced you to stall, just a little, it would all go away. Who is they? He shook his head. You don't want to know. I already do. His eyes filled with something that looked like regret. I didn't think it would get this far. Neither did I. The climax wasn't a chase or a gunshot. It was a room. Fluorescent lights. Papers spread across the table. The detective. The man in the expensive jacket. Mark, pale and silent. The truth came out in pieces. Enough of it. I signed what they put in front of me. Gave what I knew. Lost Mark in the process. In the end, I was cleared. Protected, they said. The money disappeared from my account like it had never been there. I walked out into daylight feeling lighter and heavier all at once. Weeks later, my sister called. Her bills had been quietly resolved through a fund she hadn't applied for. No explanation. I knew better than to ask. Sometimes, late at night, I still see the number when I close my eyes. Still feel the weight of it. The way it asked me who I was going to be. Some people were arrested. Others weren't. The system kept moving. And I learned something I wish I hadn't. That honesty can save you, but it never makes you whole.